All right, welcome back, everybody. Yes, sirree. My name is Casey. This is the Casey on Tap podcast. I got to say thanks. Just thanks to all of yous for being part of this. Started midway through 2024. Wasn't sure what to expect. And my Lord, here we are. February the 24th of the year, 2025. We are looking at 15 countries now have downloaded this platform. 15 countries. 126 cities, thousands and thousands of downloads all over this great world of ours. So thank you so much. Took a few weeks off after the national championship run of the Ohio State football Buckeyes, but we are back and better than ever. And I wanted to set the table, folks. I wanted to set the table, right? Pun intended, because I'm talking meat. I'm talking beef. I'm going to talk health. I'm going to talk me as per usual in terms of my life, my struggles, and what I'm doing in hopes that it could somehow, which the data shows, everybody wants more content when it comes to the booze and my sobriety. But I just want to help you avoid the pitfalls that I have found myself stumbling upon in this journey. So we're talking meat. We're talking steak, we're talking protein, we're talking fat, we're talking carnivore diet. Oh, yeah, that's what's up. We are talking carnivore diet. Now, odds are you made a weird face, or you laughed, or you're like, the hell, it's so stupid. Cholesterol, heart attack city, you're a moron. Because that's exactly how I was. 2 years ago, I probably heard of it the first time. Joe Rogan was talking about going on it and how amazing he felt. Fucking shredded weight, and he felt energy, and the list goes on and on and on. But the carnivore diet, just beef, meat, chicken, fish. That's it. No veggies. What the hell are we talking about? No veggies. That doesn't compute. Veggies are healthy, right? We're wrong. Who knows? Right? So again, this is my journey. I understand how dismissive I was the first time I heard of the carnivore diet or a keto diet or whatever. I've never personally gone on a carbohydrate restrictive diet. I have not. Many of you have. I have not. The point, my friends, is I'm going to relate these two things. I'm going to relate giving up alcohol to what I'm doing right now. Because some of you, as I know, based on the emails and texts and messages and struggling badly with the devil's juice, that somebody you know might be. You don't know how to start. You don't know how to start. There's something in your mind. It won't even allow you to comprehend your life without it. And again, I completely understand that. See, the term that you learn, or that I learned, that we all learn if you go to an AA meeting, or if you ever pick up the big, which by the way, I recommend highly. It's a fantastic book, whether you drink or not. The 12-step book written by Bill and Bob. In the introduction of the book, they talk about how the alcoholic, or the human being with a dependence with alcohol, needs to not just change the way they think about alcohol. They need to have a paradigm shift on how they think about alcohol. In other words, literally have to unplug from the matrix. They don't even know they're in the matrix of just life just includes alcohol. Well, similarly, life to me included carbohydrates, bread, pasta, sugar-free energy drinks, protein bars, etc. Have I heard ad nauseum that eating might be the way to health? Of course I have, but it doesn't apply to me. I mean, I was eating fine, right? It's the people eating the McDonald's and the burger. I'm eating fine. See the comparison here? Oh, the alcohol. My drinking's fine. It's the people like Case that used to drink whiskey from under his driver. It's the people that are just shoving hard liquor down there. My drinking's fine. Okay. So I'm giving you Planet Me so you can look at me. And I'm going to talk about the changes I've made and and how the first steps look and how they felt. And maybe you can apply the same thing when it comes to the old booze, and we can walk together. Right? This is how we're going to do it in 2025. We're going to do all the shenanigans for sure, but much more content of what you guys want, which is authentic, genuine stories of people who have struggled with alcohol and how we can help someone in your life, someone you love, with that vicious vice, sexy, seductive. It's that nasty little guy, alcohol. It just got its claws in you. Okay. So we keep it real here. We keep it raw, right? Just a little bit wild, We all love a good laugh, the gambling, the sex stories, all the crazy moments that make life fun. The mailbag is a huge hit out there. We know that. But at the end of the day, what are we talking about here, guys? At the end of the day, it's more about just hey, my grandpa would say, anybody can do sunshine, rainbows, happy hour, grad parties, birthday parties. Anybody can do that. It's when the storm comes a knocking. It's when adversity comes a knocking, when in the face of the lion. Now that's the person I'd like to meet, right? It's more than just about the fun. It's way more about staying in control, being able to look under the hood, like I did for the podcast these last few weeks. What could I do differently to based on the data, based on what you're saying? So many people around me speak of self-awareness. Maybe you can relate to this too. Do you know people that talk about self-awareness that you look at and you think, it's interesting because I must have a different idea of what self-awareness is, because it certainly isn't you. Okay. So that reflects upon all of us. Self-awareness and seize the day and iron sharpens iron and all these fun cliches we like to use. But when it comes to taking the medicine, no one likes the medicine. No one likes the hook and the cavities and the nerves. No one likes the pain, especially when you have to do it yourself. It's hard to do. And that's why I'm here, to humiliate myself with some of the pain that I have seen. So maybe you can see that it's not that big of a deal to look at yourself a little more critically, right? And then walk the path, whatever that path may be, toward a better life. What we don't want to do, especially with alcohol, is go down that road too far, right? Down that road that we don't want to go down, my God, before, wherever you are right now with it, we can turn it around. We can make that paradigm shift. So I'm 9 years sober and counting, over 9 years sober. And I want to be clear. I know firsthand the struggle. I know firsthand the struggle and the energy and the hurt and the suffering that goes on between the ears, and the strength it takes just to walk the line that you're walking, just to walk the line of saying, oh man, I know it. I know it'd be better. I know I'd feel better. Like I know it. It's like Jim Carrey in the Truman Show. He's realizing that like, wait, something's weird here. Like there's a door. I could walk out that door and there's a whole other world. The strength and the energy that it takes to walk that line. So now I have a new obsession. I walked that line in a different way recently when it came to how I was feeling. Okay, I've been feeling, my sleep has always been problematic. I've always had trouble sleeping. I've got a hyperactive mind. I just struggle badly with sleep. And so when you struggle with sleep, I mean, there was a couple of weeks ago, I went into work to teach a Saturday class, and I told my very good friend and coworker Heather, the manager of the Strongsville Title Boxing Club, I just felt like, not Jesus walking out of the tomb, because he would have felt pretty good because he was resurrected. Son of God. He's like all glorious, more like Lazarus, I guess. I guess Lazarus when Jesus rose Lazarus out, he was probably like, oh my God, I feel like shit. I feel like I've been dead for a few days. You know what I'm saying? And I had, according to my Apple Watch, I had slept for an hour and 30 minutes. And so for those of you that can relate, you feel it's completely hijacked the day. You feel lethargic. Sometimes you got to take a nap. It's just awful. So my sleep, I've been struggling with sleep, and just overall I've just felt a brain fog, and I've just felt, I don't know, things have been going really well professionally. Just something was off. And so I had to take a hard look. All right. I took a hard look, and it was, I love sugar-free Monster energy drinks and Celsius and the Think protein bars. And maybe I've been eating some chicken wings lately, and maybe yada, 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 you get it. And I took a look, and I thought, So my buddy Ed Conley and I, my best friend up here in Cleveland, we decided together that we were going to go back on this 75 Hard program, which is, you can go ahead and look up. You can look up what that program is. He and I have done it before, and we want to do it again. It's just a fantastic way to just kind of zap everything, your mind, your body, your soul, just zaps it into place for 75 days. One of the components is a diet. Okay. So it's the 2 workouts. It's the reading 10 pages a day. It's a gallon of water. One of the workouts is outside. And of course, you have to follow a diet and no alcohol, of course. And before, he and I did the intermittent fasting. Okay. No problem. So he asked me if we were going to do the intermittent fasting again. And my first knee-jerk reaction was yes. Yeah, because he it's the easiest one. We've already, we can manage that in our daily routine. And I told him, I said, let me get back to you on that. I'm 95% sure, but let me just do a little research, because something bothered me, folks. The intermittent fasting, because we've done it, which is a 16-hour window of not eating, and then 8 hours of, by definition, you're allowed to eat whatever you want. Okay. And the way it works is, can you eat 10 Big Macs and ice cream, whatever? Yes. But the idea is your body will adjust to the point where you don't want to eat that kind of stuff. Your insulin goes down, gets regulated. Autophagy, it takes place where the cells cleanse your body of disease. Again, you can use the Google machine, look that up. But intermittent fasting. But what bothered me was it didn't scare me, because I had done it before. And that diet, the fasting is great. But I started to do research on the carnivore diet. And all of a sudden, I recognized this fear in my mind. I recognized it, folks. I recognized it. My body was afraid to try it. And I quickly realized it was the same fear I felt when I decided I was giving up alcohol. And that was my breakthrough moment. What was I fearing? I thought I was literally consciously thinking to myself, what's going on right now? Because I was reading and watching podcasts and listening to podcasts on this carnivore diet. And the more I read, and the more it was like, I'm going to try this. But once I decided to try it, remember, the definition of decision is to cut off all of the choices. So my brain knew I was going to do it. And I went to Sam's Club, and I started my grocery shopping, and I was walking around throwing a fit like a 10-year-old boy that just got his Nintendo taken away from him. And I found it vastly interesting. Okay. Therapeutically, like, what is going on here? What am I? Oh, wow. I can't have Fruity Pebbles. I can't go to the protein bar aisle. I can't eat this. Very interesting, because, ultimately the sugar, the carbohydrates, all this data that indicates that your mind reacts the same way it does with cocaine, heroin. I found it very interesting that, could I possibly have a dependence or an addiction? Ooh, there's that scary word, but I'm not afraid to say it, to these things that I have perceived as, healthy or not as bad. I drink sugar-free Monster, so it's no big deal. If you feel stuck, frustrated or just plain curious as to what life would be like without alcohol, or frankly, with the carnivore diet, because I'm going to talk about it now, this episode is for you. And I'm setting the table because I'm 7 days in, by the way. Didn't want to do this podcast till I had a couple of days under my belt. And I'm so excited to talk about the results. Right. But this episode is for you, and I'm going to continue throughout every week for as long as this lasts to keep you updated, let you know what it's doing for me, how I'm eating, how I'm feeling. This carnivore diet is wild, man. And I invite you to do your research. So here's why I chose it. Okay. So like most people, eating a mix of everything, followed by the usual balanced diet advice, right? But I also dealt with the low energy, the digestive issues, inflammation, cravings, and just wanting to have better performance. Like many of you, I kept searching. What can I do? What's the big deal? My diet's fine. I wanted something that would work, something sustainable. And the more research I did, the idea of simplifying your food down to animal-based sources, and it sounds so ridiculously extreme at first, I know, but the more I listened and read, again, the more it just passed the logic test and the more it made sense to me. So I thought, why not? I'm going to give it a try. The tipping point was listening to Dr. Jordan Peterson talk about it on the Joe Rogan podcast. Dr. Jordan Peterson gives a 25-minute clip with Joe Rogan about what this carnivore diet has done for his daughter and all of her autoimmune diseases and what it's done for him. It's just mind-blowing. So I thought, why not give it a shot, see what happens? First steps, just like alcohol, breaking past the doubt, making any big change. And this is a big change. Okay. It's intimidating as hell, right? We get comfortable. It's not even the right word. I mean, it's comfortable on steroids. Even if something isn't working for us. Clearly carbs and sugar and alcohol, it does not work for us, but we get so comfortable with it that it's intimidating and uncomfortable thinking about getting rid of it. I legitimately feared feeling bad. This keto flu, they call it, when you deprive your body of carbs and it starts to act out in ways like the fever or the flu, because it's almost like withdrawal, right? I mean, I don't like the flu. I don't like it. So what if I crave foods? What if people thought I was crazy? Sound familiar? Why aren't you drinking? Oh my God, what's wrong with you? Once I started in that first meal, you're eating steak and eggs and all these things that you've been programmed to think are terrible for you. When I tell you I felt better, I mean almost instantaneously. 2 days in, my sleep has completely and totally changed. I'm only a week in. It's unbelievable. I fall asleep like a champ. I wake up in the mornings like a champ. Okay? You don't have to have it all figured out before you begin. Just start. Start with a day. Start with 2 days. You cannot believe how your body will respond, whether it's putting alcohol down or starting this carnivore diet. You just can't believe how quickly and efficiently your body will respond. Okay? Now, I know some of you listening might be curious about alcohol, carnivore. Some might just be here because you're at a crossroads looking for a sign that it's okay to try something new. And here is that sign. You're looking at it. You're hearing it. Whether it's your health, your mindset, your habits, change. Folk, please listen to that. Please, I beg you. Think about being in the matrix or in the fog or in a young fish in the water that doesn't know they're in the water. Change is possible. It absolutely is possible. Weight loss, alcohol, relationships, change is possible. You just have to know what's wrong. You have to be able to look at what's wrong and take action. You do not need permission. You don't need your friend's permission or your drinking buddy's permission or your overbearing family's permission or your super negative aunt's permission. I beg you, it just starts with an action. The infinite change that is available to you starts with an action, and there is no perfect time. It is no better time than now. For me, personally, trying the carnivore diet was wildly radical. It was a huge leap. And just in these 7 days already, it's taught me something way bigger than just food. It's taught me, oh, that's right. I am resilient. I can break old patterns. I can reward myself and take control of my own health. It's incredible. If you're thinking about making a shift, whether it's with your diet, your lifestyle, anything, if you're thinking about, if it's something's in your brain, if something's gnawing at you, anything that you want to shift and take a different direction and improve and go upward, ask yourself a very simple question. Please write it down. Ask yourself a question, think. And the question is, what is stopping me? Be honest with yourself. Take a notebook out, take a piece of paper or pen by yourself. Write down what the hell is stopping you? I've said this to countless people. The alcohol is not going away. For me, the protein bars, the fat-free frozen yogurt, the whatever it may be, the sugar, the carbs, they'll be there for me. If I decide to jump off the wagon, alcohol will be there for me, for you, why not try? See if you can do it for a day, an hour, a day, a week, a month, right? What's stopping you? And what's the depth of validity to that reason? So look, if this resonates with you, make sure you subscribe, leave a review, share this with someone who might need to hear it, please. And if you've got your own stories, I'd love to hear them, okay? Insight, thoughts, whether it's on sobriety, self-discipline, or even this carnivore lifestyle, because I am loving it. I can't believe how much different I feel already, and I am so stoked to keep the reports going every week and just let everybody know what the hell's going on with my body, my spirit, my mind, my soul, and everything, because this complete elimination of carbohydrates and going back to and by the way, here's the book. It's the Carnivore Diet. It's Dr. Sean Baker, who's the OG of the Carnivore Diet. I highly recommend doing some research. It is incredible already what it's done to my mental clarity, my energy, my sleep. It's almost hard. It's hard to believe, to be frank with you. It's really weird eating meat and eggs and drinking nothing but water. And it's just wild to be eating the things that I used to think were the things I shouldn't be eating, and eliminating the things that I thought I should be eating, and then the difference in how I feel already in just 7 days. So reach out, Casey at CaseyOnTap.com, any of the social media platforms, and that's it. And that's it, folks. We're gonna keep this thing going in 2025. Douglas Wade will be back. Edward Captain Cardinal Conley is on the Carnivore Diet as well, so we're gonna have him on. We're gonna have him reporting his progress. Super exciting. It's fun to have a buddy doing it too. So it's going to be a wild ride. But remember, you are in the driver's seat. All right. You are in the driver's seat. Keep having fun. Keep pushing forward. Until next time, be safe. Take care. God bless. Eat your red meat. Drink your water. My name's Casey. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.